Can I ask what the trans bodybuilding experience was like? Um,
Yeah.
Besides hard and challenging.
That's just the bodybuilding part.
Yeah,
But it was a lot of fun. It was
really.
so there's a show. It's in Atlanta. There's only one. But it was a lot of fun. It was really free. Just because it was like everybody knew who you were. Everybody had the same experience. There was no explanations required for anything.
Yeah.
Um, it it was the excuse me. It was probably the most trans people I've ever seen in my whole life.
Wow.
And like to
Both.
be in a room with so many
Yeah.
people who had the exact same experience as you
Yeah.
is just crazy to me because it was like I'm almost always the only one or
Wow.
the one of two or three,
Got it.
you
Got
know,
it.
and it's just like we're always like I used to tell people I'm like I didn't want to be known as like that trans guy Kel.
Totally.
I wanted
No,
to be
makes sense.
and like truly at that kind of show, it was like you're just Kel. You're
Yep.
because we're all trans. So
Yep.
it was just like kind of like mind breaking to be
Sure.
so normal
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
once.
Yeah. And just known as you, right?
Yeah,
It's not like it's essentially like there's the gay neighbor blank, right? It's like just Kel. Like that's it. Like that's all it was, right? Like it, your identity isn't just about being trans. You're a person that's existing in this bodybuild competition with a room of other guys that are like, oh yeah, I know how much harder this was, or I know what it was like, or gosh, I'm so freaking hungry back here, right? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm tired. I can't wait for this meal at the end of this thing, right? But it's nice to see versions of yourself back there in the back, and I'm assuming the audience too, right? Like, we're talking about community being supporting of community. It's not just in the back with all the competitors. Like, it's everyone is really excited to be there.
absolutely. And they all understood. Like and I
Yeah,
think that's something that people either don't understand fully or like it's just so ingrained at this point that
sure,
it's just natural. It's like, yeah, I'm
sure.
probably gonna have to explain some stupid question, or I'm gonna have
You're
to
right. You're right.
tell someone that they're wrong, or that you can't say tranny, or like for some reason people are just unaware
Yep.
because they lived under a rock for so long or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I don't have to explain shit. Like if someone's packer falls out, someone's just gonna pick it up and keep going. Like it's
Yeah,
just you're
yeah.
not gonna have to explain what it was. It were like
No, not at
it's
all.
just something like, and it was
Yeah,
just really nice to not have to deal with any of that.
yeah,
And it kind of broke your head just because it was like I don't think you realize how often you do it or how natural it is now. It's just like, wow, that was heavy, and I finally got to put it down. And
yeah. Wow. That's what when you say it was like mind breaking. That's what it was. Like I got to finally just kind of be myself, like put it down. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And you won, correct?
yeah, I won my class and the overall show. So
Okay.
it's very fun.
Yeah. How long did you train for or prepare for?
So the diet part is 20 weeks.
Okay. What is that, 5 months about?
Yeah. So I started dieting Memorial Day, so in May, and the show was in mid-October,
Okay. All summer.
all summer.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And did you meet other, like, did you know everyone that was competing or was it new folks that you had? Yeah, I was wondering.
I hadn't met anybody. I didn't know a
Yeah.
single other person there, except for my coach. My coach did travel down,
Oh,
and he had
wow.
done the show before, so I knew him. But
Okay.
everybody else, I used to have to. I lived in Atlanta for kind of. Used to split my time between Columbus and Atlanta, so I'd be
Okay.
here for 2 weeks, there for 2 weeks, back and forth. So I had friends in Atlanta who were there, but not who were competing.
Okay. Okay. Wow. And are you going to do it again or that?
I am not going to do that show again. I'll probably do. I want to move into the mainstream shows. So there's
Okay.
it's called the NPC.
Hmm.
It's just shows, normal bodybuilding shows. And I
And
plan
then,
to do one of those in 2024. So I have quite a
oh,
while.
you have a while. Yeah. And I know a bit about bodybuilding, not much, but those are not inclusive, are they?
No, so bodybuilding is divided up into two different categories, kind of. So two different major categories. So it's natural bodybuilding, and then there's just open bodybuilding. Natural bodybuilding means that they don't have any kind of extra supplementation. So that's like the drugs, the
Okay.
performance enhancing. Trans people cannot compete naturally because we administer testosterone.
For life-saving reasons, but okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we have to go into the open category. So I just am trying to gain size right now. So
Okay.
I'm growing for until 2024, and then I'll
Okay.
start.
Wow. Wow.
Just
And
because I have to compete with cis men. So.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know, have there been other trans folks that have competed? Really? Okay.
Yeah. So there's this documentary on Netflix about the trans bodybuilding show called Man Made. Oh, it's not
Okay.
on Netflix, Amazon Prime. And
Okay.
my coach and then a couple other guys who I've talked to via the podcast.
Sure.
It's the year that they all competed. But one of the guys that the show follows, he actually lives in Cleveland, Ohio, and
Oh wow.
he has competed several times in NPC shows.
Okay.
And there's a couple other guys that I know of who've done it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not unheard of. I wouldn't say
Okay.
it's super common, but
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Is there anyone in like bodybuilding world that you kind of look up to? I mean, I assume your coach, but in addition to that, that kind of
Yeah, there's a couple of different people I really enjoy watching. I'm actually going to the Olympia, which is
Mhm.
Mr. Olympia is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. It's in
Yeah.
Vegas. We're going next month in December.
Really?
My coach and then one other friend from Instagram. We're all going. So we're very looking forward to that. But there is I compete in classic physique, which is a division of bodybuilding. So it's
Mhm.
not the big guys. It's not the guys who wear the board shorts, but it's like the middle guys.
Okay.
um,
Okay. Yeah, I know the
so
board short one. Okay, that makes
yeah.
okay. Okay.
So these guys, it's called classic physique. So it's like they want to look like classical strongmen,
Mhm.
essentially. So like
Mhm.
Arnold in his heyday. So
Okay.
they're not 300 pounds and they're all capped. So like based on your height,
Ah,
you're only allowed to get to this weight,
got it.
which makes it easier for trans men to compete in that kind of a category, just because we tend to be a bit shorter. And so I think for my height, my weight cap is like 160, 160, which
Okay.
is a lot more reasonable.
Sure. Sure. Then 300 pounds. Yeah.
Than trying to compete with a giant.
Yeah.
Uh, but there's a guy called Chris Bumstead who is the current Olympia champion. He's won it 3 times. And there's also a man named Terrence Ruffin, and he's my
Okay.
favorite.
Okay.
He has come in second for the last few years, but he just won the Arnold, and the Arnold Classic is in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
I got to
Did you
see
go to
it.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure I don't know how far apart they are, but I'm like, if you're on Ohio, you might as well go.
Yeah, it's literally 5 minutes from my house, so I
Oh
definitely I
wow.
actually rode a little scooter there. So.
You're like, I'm cool on my little
Yeah.
scooter here. I actually this is totally like odd fact, but the gym I used to work out in LA, well, it was in the Valley. I'm sure you know who this is, Breon. He's in a lot of the fitness competitions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was at the Arnold this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Was he classic or no? Or that's
Yeah, he is.
that's what I thought. As you said it, I was like, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I watched him get bigger and bigger and be meticulous about his eating.
He's very cool.
Meticulous.
He's
Yeah.
really fun to watch on stage. Yeah.
Yeah. He's very funny and down to earth. Is what's kind of nice when you were talking about like bodybuilders are just normal people that happen to be like really interested in bodybuilding. Like he's this huge guy and he was like the nicest person is what I'm trying to say. Like I think people have this idea because he's so buff, like he's intimidating, and he was like a jokester and the nicest guy.
That's
And that
awesome.
really helped reshape things for me as well.
Well,
Kind of on your
I think there's a
notes.
lot of stigma around like performance the performance enhancing drugs stuff just because for so long, like you're like roid rage, everybody's so mean
Mhm.
and angry, and it's like, well, not really. They I mean, not to say that they're the safest things in the universe at all, but like I said, like people who are into bodybuilding typically are just really into their specific niche interest. And
Sure,
it's just
sure.
the extreme. I'm not saying it's not extreme at all, but it is like I said, it's just like those like people who go in cosplay or something, like they spend a
Yeah.
lot of time and money on their one thing,
Yeah.
kind of.
I mean, it's an interest, right? Like that's part of life, I think, for a lot of us. It's like what really gives me drive and motivation and desire, right? And usually you surround yourself by community, you practice it, right? Like that's what you're talking about. And you're building your own community in this way, which is pretty awesome.